But I think the question really becomes, are we going to stay people? Because I don't think we are. I think we're moving in that general direction anyway. I think that probably is why we have this, it's almost inevitable if you have this addiction to cell phone issue, because everybody has that. If you have a cell phone and you're on your social media apps during the day and you're on YouTube, you're probably addicted, whether you realize it or not. And the number of hours that you put on those things is shocking. When you actually look at your screen time, you're like, 6 hours? I was on my phone for 6 hours? What the fuck did I do? And you'll try to rationalize it and justify it, but what that's doing to young people is got to be very strange. And if that, along with all the contaminants that are affecting the way people develop, which are, Dr. Shanna Swan from the book Countdown talks about this. She talks about phthalates in plastics and how you can trace back to like the 1950s when they really started using a lot of plastics and petrochemical products that started getting into people's bodies in the form of phthalates. It started diminishing sperm count and smaller penises and testicles and taints and more miscarriages for women, lower fertility rates. All that is, she believes, is directly correlated with the data that they've done already on mammals. When they do that to mammals, in tests, the more phthalates they enter into their system, the more they have issues like this. So we're becoming almost like, less able to procreate naturally. And if we get to a point where the human race's future, it's the only way we're going to be able to procreate is some sort of genetic engineering and some sort of artificial womb or some sort of a system that they develop that allows you to combine you and your partner's DNA and create a new child. That seems to me like if you were going to do that and you started engineering out very specific aspects of people that are problematic, anger, greed, jealousy, lust, all these different things, you would turn people into some sort of sexless thing that gets its pleasure by manipulating its neurochemistry through some electronics, through something. Maybe it's something you take so they can control it, but that's not far off of the path of possibility. If you really looked at where we're going now, and if the fertility rates drop, if they really do, and I know people a lot smarter than me are actually worried about, like Elon's worried about the amount of children that people have. There was a thing today on Italy. I was reading this article on Italy where they were talking about how the population is very old and they're not having a lot of kids. And like, this is unsustainable. Like, you can only do this for so long before you don't have anybody living there anymore. And we don't think of that as being a possibility, but it doesn't take that long if nobody has kids for there to be no more people left. Like, how many, 100 years? Like, if nobody has kids, 100 years from now, there's no people. It's real simple. You have to make people, and how many do you have to make? And can you make them? Because you might want to start making them when you're 37, and you might go to a doctor, and the doctor's like, well, this is touch and go. You're going to have to do in vitro fertilization, and then you go through all this shit, and you're taking shots, and you're timing everything, and